Willkommen, bienvenue, and welcome back to Creeper Oasis with Light. That's right, we're here in Crash Landing, and I made myself a little oasis in a nice glass bubble. You can see things trying to get to me, but they can't. It's a nice little area. Have a little bit of water here so you can hear the nice flowing water. You've got some reeds making it all nice, some palm trees making it feel really oasis-like, and of course a spider up above our heads. So if we just hop into the water, he'll stand on that iron spike up there every now and then, and eventually end up dead. This spider isn't behaving quite as nicely as some of the others, but sooner or later, they all end up on the spike and dead. Except for this guy. Not sure what was going on with him, because this is an unspawnable zone. He must have glitched in somehow. Small spiders still might be able to get past the coconuts. So I'm going to have to check on that, make sure this place is secure. I also might end up making it a bit bigger. Because, well, it does feel a little claustrophobic, and the trees are popping out through, so we might expand it. Particularly since right over here, in this little desert temple-y looking area, is where I'm going to have my water situation. I took my cactus farm and I doubled it back to increase the rates a bit. It's going pretty quick because, well, it creates more cactus than I consume as water. I've got all of that as well as some left in this crafting station. So all I have to do is pop these bottles in there, shift click them back out, and then I can put them right into my camel pack. Quick and easy. But not quick enough or easy enough. We're not, savages. We shouldn't be making our own water things. I'm going to make an automated system here that does it for me. Because, well, that's what I do. But first, I want to show you something that I really wished I had known much earlier on. Over here, we've got ourselves a big old patch of grass that I told you I'd been bone mealing to get various seeds and saplings. Well, there's a better way. Over here, I've got all sorts of other seeds that I got from tilling the grass. Every now and then, you just get a random drop of a seed from the grass. And as you can see, I just did a tiny little strip, and I got turnips, corn, tea, winter squash, and mustard. I didn't even have winter squash from the other, 20 minutes to half an hour I spent doing this. The main reason I did this was to get these oats. You might not necessarily see why I would want oats. I might want these seeds for being able to breed things. But at this point, all I've got is a sheep. Well, it turns out... do I have any water on me? I do not. To get the horse from the book, we're going to need some oats. So I'm going to take some water, set up an extra tiny garden like this one just over here, and get myself some oats. Here looks good. And now we can do some actual tilling. Put down the oats. Oh, and this watering can does work miracles on grass. So you just walk along and the grass spreads back quick as can be. So this helps with gathering of the seeds quite well. It's still quite slow on crops, so you likely don't want to just sit here going, and there we go. I'm not sure it's really worth it. But let's grab those oats. And how about we find out how much we need in the way of oats? If we just need one, then we're done. Let's take a look. Horse needs 4 oats. So we could sit there with the watering can, or we could be sensible human beings and grab ourselves some bones. We've got tons and tons of them. Oh, I've already got bone meal. Yeah, I always carry bone meal with me I get desensitized to it because I use it to repair my tools. Okay, that should be enough oats. We haven't completed any quests for a while, so I thought it was about time. So we can take the leather. These bones will be for the wolf, but we don't have any raw beef. We've got the fish, emeralds, leather, rotten flesh, and gold nugget for getting the various different spawn eggs. So we can come up here and craft these emeralds into a block. And then consult Impa. So we saw the horse, 4 leather, 4 oats. Oh, right. It doesn't want to let us manually submit. So what we're going to need is a hopper from somewhere. I thought I had a hopper somewhere around here. Nope. And again, we can always just steal one. Because I stole the one from the last time we did this to do something else. Okay, here we go. Let's see which quest this is currently on. Villagers. Huh. So we just plop that there, toss in the block of emerald, and our villager quest should be done. There we are. Villager spawn egg. Now we come over to the horse, select the task, set it on there, open this up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Leave 1 oat laying there, and drop those 4 in. And claim ourselves a saddle and a horse. And it gives us the ability to get horse armor. Awesome. 6 iron ingots, okay. 6 gold ingots, fine. Or 6 diamonds. Bling for your horse. Excessive, maybe? Awesome. I love unlocking quests. Next up, let's do the ocelot. Select the task, put it on there. 4 fish. 1, 2, 3, 4 fish. There we go. That goes away. Give us a cat. Doesn't unlock anything new. The wolf takes raw beef, so we'll have to do stuff with cows first. Speaking of cows, 8 leather. And there we go. Claimed a cow. Still good on space, so that's good. We've already done the sheep. Let's do the pig. 7 rotten flesh and a gold nugget. Select that task. Boink. 7 rotten flesh and a gold nugget. Claim the piggy. Okay, so we've done the cow, done the sheep, and the pig, and the horse, and the ocelot, and the villagers. All we have left is the wolf, and then to get the various types of armor. Those are really easy. We might even be able to just run and do that right now. Not sure where I put my iron, though. I know I had some spare iron from something. There's 4. Yeah, we'll do that later. Now, we did a few quests. Now we need to do some other things that we have prepared. I really, really don't like the power setup right now. Let's put these away. Okay, I very much don't like the power setup right now. I have to drag the batteries back and forth and back and forth. It's just a nightmare. So what we're going to do about it is something incredibly fancy. And it requires a stack of ender pearls that I just remembered that I didn't remember to bring over. So we'll bring our power cell over because we'll likely need it. And we will need those ender pearls to put inside of the things that we're going to be building. If you've done some modded stuff before, you know what you need to fill with liquid ender pearls. But for those of you that have not, this one, we're going to be making some tesseracts. Now, yeah, they take not just these cards, but the even more fancy cards. They don't use the tier 3 card, thank goodness. So let's pick all of this up first. You've seen me make these before. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put that and split. Put one of these in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4 and split. And then those for the LX300 cards. But you have to make these one at a time. Eventually I might automate this part too, so I can make as many machines as I like, but we'll see. Then, that's not the right place. And then we take all of this, hardened glass and endarium, and put that around one of these cards. Certainly hope this was the order. There we are. And that gets us an empty Tesseract frame. Now that does kind of remind me that there might be an extra step after filling it. Well, before I get too down about that, let's put this in place. Let's see, so that's got a lot of power. So actually, let's melt these down and see how much more we need. And yeah, this one's gonna need more power. Are you outputting? You are outputting. There that goes. Tesseract frame full. This may or may not require more power. So now let's check on what more I need. Bronze and silver to make the final Tesseract. Whew. I thought it was going to be bad. Yeah, that's not going to be a problem. I'm fairly certain I've got enough bronze and silver just laying around for the... Yeah, that'll be fine. Apologies if you can hear the neighbor's dogs out there. They do like to go at it this time of night. Not too much I can do about it, though. Most of the neighbor's dogs are fine, but sometimes they just go a little wild. Okay, so we're gonna get these. Let's go check on our bronze and silver situation. Here we are with bronze, and there we are with silver. So how much do we need? 4 for each, so that's 16. So less than 2 blocks. No problem. So if you're unfamiliar with Tesseracts, they can transfer power and items and liquids wirelessly. So long as both ends are loaded. Is it like this? I think it's like that. So long as both sides are in chunks that are loaded, it'll transfer the power and the items and the fluids. The main reason I want that is right here. It's really difficult to keep this thing running. Before any spiders sneak up on me, I'm gonna sleep. So I had to carry the battery back and forth, and the drones would stop running, and it's just bad news all around. So now we're gonna take this, we're gonna put it on channel 1. We're gonna call that power grid. And what we're gonna have it do is do nothing with items, do nothing with fluids, and receive energy. And then we're gonna go over to where our power currently is and set one up. Now this is not a permanent solution. I plan on moving this power system away from here, such that we just do the grinding here and we do the power generation somewhere else. Let's grab ourselves another Tesseract, and we're going to put it right here. We're going to throw it on the power grid. And again, we're just going to have it do energy, but in this case, we're just going to send the energy. So these will now, theoretically, send the power into the conduit, which sends the power into this guy, which should then send it over to our pneumaticraft charging station. Poor Enderman running into the spike. So let's go and see if that worked. It really should, but machines are finicky. You should know that it's going to work. You can do everything right, and then you come back and go, why aren't you working? Well, in this case, because it's already at full. So what we really need is something to drain some of that pressure. So let's go grab one of our drones. Are we out of water? Of course we're out of water. So once a drone runs out of pressure, it just lands and sits there until you come and pick it up. Okay, so take this guy and bring him back down to the bottom. Throw him in here. And then every now and then this will kick on whenever this loses a little bit of pressure. It'll kick on and do its thing, which means it's getting power, at least in theory. Without some diagnostic tool, it's hard to know if it's running on its residual charge or if this is helping. So we'll let that sit, let it do its thing, and then come back to it later. Now, in here, we've got our next project. Which is to have a setup for automatic water generation. It's still missing a couple of things. And that's because the other things were still being used. And those things are Aquabot! Granted, it's really just Aquabot's body. Yeah, we might as well use this drum too. Yeah, we can just break it. Shaba! Ooh. Did not expect that to break the sand so fast, or the dust so fast. Okay. So we've got the various things that we need. We're gonna come on over here and set up our water system. Now, I'm not entirely certain how I'm going to make this place look, so I'll likely rejigger this system once it's in place. Ooh, we have too much stuff in our inventory. Let's fix that. Okay, that's better. So what we need is to get rid of that guy. We need to have a factory manager and some inventory cables aligned with the various parts of this system. So we're going to put an inventory cable next to the chest. We're going to put the manager here. Yeah, that's probably a good place for it. And then we need to have the other things adjacent to some of these cables. So I'm going to bring it over and up. Now the other parts that we need to have is the fluid transposer with a power source. Again, I will likely come back later and change the way this is set up such that it's nice and clean and beautiful, but for now we'll just put the Tesseract here. Power grid, just receive the power. So we can have the fluid transposer here. What this is going to do is it's going to take the water bottles and empty them. So we want the, yeah, let's just turn everything off. Let's put the input on the bottom, the item output on the top, and the fluid output on the right. Yeah, let's actually put the fluid output on all of the cardinal directions instead of up and down, because I don't want to necessarily worry about that when doing the programming. So yeah, we'll drop filled water bottles in here and then use that to fill up our water drum. So let's take our water drum and put it there, and then our armor stand and put it here. Now you see that completely covers up the block. That'll come in really handy for when we pertify this little area. And then what we're going to do is have our program. Oh, slimes do glitchy things. Oh, he's just being a cute little slime. So what we're going to do is take this trigger. We're going to pull things from the chest. Doesn't matter the direction. What are we going to pull? Cactus. And empty bottles. We want exactly one of those. And we want exactly 8 of those. Then we're going to auto craft those cactus and water bottles, or cactus and bottles, into a water bottle. Voila. Excess inventories, it doesn't really matter, but we'll send it to the chest because it needs to know that. Then we're going to output from that crafting process into the fluid transposer. Where? Down. Let's whitelist water bottle because that's important to the process. Sometimes it acts funny if you don't tell it exactly what you want it to do. Okay, so now if we go into that chest and drop our water bottles, it should craft them and place them in here. Now, for some reason, our Tesseract was not turned on properly. Okay, so now this is getting power and it's draining the water bottles. Can only do one at a time, but then it drops it in here. So the next part of the program is to pull the empty bottles from the fluid transposer from the top. Let's just take whatever it has and then put them back in the other chest. And there's that. So it drains it from here, puts it back in the chest, which it'll then pull from and craft into here. So this will fill that up with water from all of the cactus that we've got. But now we need to take it from here and put it somewhere. We could shove it back into the Tesseract, but it's just an energy Tesseract. You don't want to send that anywhere. So we come back in here, create another trigger. You could probably mix some of these together, but it's a lot clearer having them separate. So we want a liquid input from the fluid transposer. Target every direction that isn't up and down. I don't want to know, I don't care which way is which, and we'll take whatever fluid it gives us. And then we output it into the barrel. Eventually we'll be able to also have a way of taking full barrels and throwing them into an inventory and replacing it with an empty barrel. But for now, this will have to do. And you can see it's slowly but surely rising. As it drains each of these bottles, it puts it in here. Now, you're wondering about this armor stand. We don't necessarily want to always be doing this draining. Sometimes we want to keep some in reserve to fill up our camel packs with. So we would be able to just place it on here and have it replace it and take it on its way. Now, that is a bit more complicated than I want to do for this episode. But the bare bones of it will be that in here, I will have some camel packs. And when it sees there's an empty one, it'll auto-craft it with the bottles, such that they're all full. And then it'll look at this armor stand, and if there's ever an empty one on the armor stand, it'll take it and then replace it with a full one. That way, we can fill the barrel, fill the drum, and have camel packs always ready. There isn't enough time in this episode to do all of that, but that's what I'm going to do in this area. I'll have the armor stand with camel pack on it so I can quickly swap them out. Eventually I'll want to be able to wirelessly connect that up with the rest of the base too, but we'll see how feasible that is. But really, I wanted the automated water generation. I want to be able to have this barrel just totally full of water all the time. And it doesn't look like the bottles are going anywhere, but that's because pretty much the instant that it gets one back, it sends another one out. And there's no particular need to have this on a super fast circuit like Cerberus is on. The 1 second should be plenty. And, I mean, now we've got 42 buckets worth of water. We can start doing some interesting things with it. So off we go. So the base is turning out pretty good. I still haven't built a house. I still don't have a power system. I will likely do that in the next episode or between episodes, making that much better and getting it isolated such that we have a nice little power station. After that, it's all machines. Machines, machines, machines. Unless we get something fancy for unlocking the wolf, we're going to have to finish up under pressure. I have those. I'll do that quickly before we end the episode, because it's kind of disturbing when it says I don't have something I know I have. Let's try that again. Okay. Now, we've got the pressure gauge, but we don't have this regulator. Pretty sure I can't just make that quick as a GIF. Advanced regulator takes one of those, 2 of these, which take gold, and this guy, which takes levers. Levers and gold. Got electrum. Got tons of electrum. A little bit of gold. It's probably enough gold. We only need 2 of these. Got plenty of sticks. That should be enough cobble. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just want to get this out of the way, so it's not hanging over our heads anymore. So we take 2 of those. Oh, we needed more gold. We needed more of those things, didn't we? Need more pressure gauges. Yep, not going to happen right now. It'll be done before the next episode, though. This is repeatable. This one I can do now that I've got the brewing stand. We can totally do that for the next episode. And then that'll be this sorted. All done. technological revolution. We've got all these things, all these take those chips. So I'll find a way of getting tons and tons of those. And we'll make all the MFR stuff, which I might use, I might not. All of the basic machines. I still haven't made these two. I really should. I've likely made some of these already. And then basic applied energistics. Well, I want AE for my restaurant, so I definitely want to make that happen. But I'm going to finish up creating life, likely off camera, finish off under pressure, possibly off camera, and then we'll see where to go from there. But I think that's enough for this episode. I'll have some meaty stew, and I will catch you in the next episode of Crash Landing with Light.